the bar too high, too high. But it's good. We're going to have this like just a conversation, right? It's not so much of theory, more practical. Whatever Purity has said about me, I still remain humble because I still want to learn. I typically say something that is because I've snooped around people like our participant here. That's where I've gained a whole lot of learning. I've snooped around a lot of people, managers. I worked with a lot of managers. I worked with a lot of C-suite executives. I work with people who are just coming in, to start their career. So, and I've distilled those learnings, into programs, into interventions, and basically, that's just what we're going to talk about today. Nothing serious, more like what we know, what we've read, and yeah, we're just going to talk about that. So greetings to everybody, people in Guinea-Bissau, people in Kenya, I mean, wherever you may be. Thank you so much for joining this. You're not just a participant, you are here to shape life. You are here to, to make your life better, to make things better. So basically, that's what we're going to discuss today. So let me quickly just share my screen so that we have some talking points in 1 minute. Right. Sorry, please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, it's visible.
Oh, okay, great. So once again, my name is Adedoyin Adebayo, but you can call me Ade, just so that you don't break your jaw trying to call me. So we've put together this, how to accelerate your career growth and unlock opportunities in 2025. How to accelerate your career growth and unlock opportunities in 2025. Now, we'll have a few talking points that I've put here that we're just going to quickly look at. Also, learning objectives. We'll talk about how you can become more self-aware in 2025 and beyond, because that's one thing that changed my life. That's one concept that changed my career. That's one concept that, redefine who I am. And I really want you to pay attention, close attention to that concept of self-awareness. There's going to be a bit of a departure from what you and I, or what you've heard about self-awareness today. Then how you need to seek continuous learning opportunities in the world that we are in right now, the world that is tend to be VUCA, VUCA. Then, of course, how you can build a strong professional network, because it's one concept that works anywhere, whether you are in Africa, whether you are in Australia, whether you are in anywhere you are, how you can build strong professional network and also leverage on that network. Then, of course, we're also going to talk about how you need to proactively seek challenging assignments. And then lastly, developing your personal brand and becoming visible in the world of social media that we are in right now. So just a few conversations that we're going to have on some topics today. So let me put this here. And I would like us to do one thing right now. Please, if you can open, maybe if you have a phone, if you are watching from your phone, just quickly open your browser and type in www.menti.com. And once you get to menti.com, you need to type in this code, 338-666-66393. I'd like to learn, what is your biggest career challenge right now? It's a quick poll. In 3-5 minutes, we are done. I just want us to quickly understand that so that we can see where people are and tailor the intervention or tailor the conversation to address more of the challenges that people are having or people may be having when it comes to their career. Please just quickly do that. Type in www.menti.com. Once you type this, there's going to be a page where you need to put in this code. So you'll see a different set of questions, about 5 or 6 questions. Just pick the one that applies to you. Your biggest career challenge right now, your biggest one. The biggest career challenge right now. Yeah, let's do that quickly. In 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Purity, I don't know if you can drop this in the chat box, the code for people. Let me just see if I can do that in 1 minute. Right. Yes. Okay. I've done that. Yeah. Okay. I like what I'm seeing. People are saying lack of opportunity, lack of growth opportunities. Wow. Struggling to stay motivated. I know. Okay, finding the right career. Let it come. Let it come. Let just see what we can achieve in just 3 more minutes. But if you really can't find your what applies to you, you may want to drop it in the chat box. But for those who easily resonate with some of the challenges here, please just go ahead. Just go ahead. Lack of growth opportunities. Yes. Struggling to stay motivated, finding the right path, finding the right career path. All right. Okay. Any other person? Yeah, let's drop it. Let's drop it quickly in 1 minute. In 1 minute. Okay. Work-life balance, Benedict. I like that. Work-life balance. Wow. Okay. Yeah, struggling to stay motivated. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me stop this so that we can go back to our conversation. We'll come back to this before we wrap up the program. So, I mean, it's not new. For some time now, over the years, about more than a decade, I began to work with people who are struggling with their careers, people who probably were, even before now, then in early 2000s, early 2010, things were not as disruptive like this. The technology that we are contending with right now, AI everywhere, the challenging economy, our economy has been greatly battered, virtually in all the African countries, most especially in Nigeria. Let me speak from where we are. A lot of African countries, even the world, the pandemic, some of the things that we're contending with. But I began to, reach out to professionals in order to let them know that this is actually the best of time. This is the best of time. This is the time that you can accelerate your career. This is the time that you can make more money. This is the time that you can go to that industry where people are not seeing opportunities and begin to, take out opportunities from those industries. So early this year, I put up this. I said, 2025 will favor the agile. Whether you are in Lagos, you are in Nairobi, you are in Guinea-Bissau, you are in London, your careers will thrive at the intersection of three things. And I put self-awareness, creativity, and acceleration. Honestly, if you can get these three things correctly, I can tell you that you can become, you can accelerate your career in the world that we have now time to be very challenging, very chaotic, very uncertain. I mean, all sort of words that that you can think of. It's the world where, if you can lay hold on these three things, honestly, for those of us who are saying that we lack some sort of career growth, for those of us that are saying that we're not being motivated on the job. In fact, I'm sure that our Gallup professionals here will tell us the rate at which people are disengaged in organizations. They will tell us how a lot of people don't even feel that sense of purpose of working again. A whole lot of things. And I'm saying that if you can master these three things, honestly, in the world that we are in right now, that everything seems to be very confusing, everything seems to be very challenging, honestly, you can try, you can accelerate, you can transform yourself. And I'll just speak to a few of those things, then I will allow you to, to ask questions. So, as we all know, the reality of our world now is a world that has been termed to be VUCA, a world that has been termed to be very volatile. When we say something is very volatile, things are very rapid. Maybe yesterday, the dollar rate, the dollar rate in your country was to your local currency was probably 100, $1 to your 100 currency, and all of a sudden things changed overnight. That's about volatility, uncertainty, a situation where you can't even predict anything. Even organizations today where we work, a lot of organizations are finding themselves in a very challenging situation. I remember a client who came and said that sometimes last year, they said they wanted to hire about 100 graduate trainees. So at the beginning of this year, they said they are putting it on hold because of a lot of things, a lot of factors that they can't even explain. A whole lot of things like that. There's an organization that we're trying to do stuff for around capacity development. That was the last quarter, for the year. So this year they said that they're going to lay off some people, that we should even pause, that it's after that restructuring that's when they are going to come back. So it's a world that is going to be like this. And don't let me be a prophet of doom. Things are not going to get better. Whether you are in Kenya, whether you are in London, whether you are anywhere things are not going to get better. But however, as an individual, if you are able to master certain things, certain abilities that we're going to talk about today, I can assure you 101% that you can thrive. You can lead a very good life. You can lead your life on purpose. You can change careers. You can move from one industry to another. You can do the things that you want to do, because as much as the world is termed to be very volatile, and uncertain and complex and ambiguous, the people who are very visionary, the people who are very self-aware, the people who are able to challenge themselves, the people who are able to look at the environment and say that, oh, because of the abilities, because of the skills, because of the competencies that I have, because I know myself, these are the things that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do these things well when it comes to my career. And if you are consistently doing those things, you become very creative in such a way that nothing is new. You are just adding something that looks a bit new to the things that you are doing. Then people begin to pay attention to you. And if you can become very visible, you do these things consistently over and over again, you showcase yourself without, without coming to people as not being authentic, then I can tell you that you are going to accelerate your career in 2025. Now, I've talked about some of the challenges that we have, some of the trends that we have seen. And I know that you can easily relate to some of these, even in where we are, within our localities. The COVID pandemic, the Russia invasion, how do some of these factors have actually impacted on the business environment, the landscape, the rising global inequality, the demographic shift. So, for example, in my country now, there seems to be a rise of the youth. Some years ago, we had a social unrest that a lot of people died. So those are some of the trends that we are beginning to see. The climate change, the technological advancement, the AI. There's even a latest debate now. I was one of the speakers recently, where the organizers came up with an idea that, oh, AI is going to take your job. AI is going to take people's job. And that's the reality. But I said that AI is going to take a lot of jobs, but AI is also going to add a lot of jobs. As much as AI would take, in fact, AI will add several more opportunities for people. But the question is that, are we positioned in such a way that we can take some of these opportunities, irrespective of where we are? I know someone in Kenya who works for an organization in Nigeria today. In fact, they flew the guy from Kenya, a guy from Ghana in December for their strategy retreat. This guy earns in dollars. He works for the country. He works for a country in Nigeria today. So we live in a borderless world where opportunities abound anywhere, and it's due to this technology that we are talking about. But the question is that, are we building the skills that will let us, accelerate our career in such a way that we can command more respect and command more dollar bill? Have we built ourselves in such a way that, when opportunities open up for you, you are the one that will even say that, no, I want this, I don't want this? Have you built yourself to an extent in such a way that when they are looking for someone, irrespective of your background, of your profession? I studied geography. I graduated from the university studying geography. But what I do today is not in any way relevant to what I studied in school. But I was deliberate. I started building myself. I started adding value to myself. I started taking courses. I started looking for mentors. But one thing that actually helped me is the ability to be self-aware. And I put it here that self-awareness is the meta skill of this 21st century. When they say something is the meta skill is that skill upon which all the other skills actually rest upon. Your communication skill, your emotional intelligence, even your technical skills. Self-awareness gives you that platform to be able to build those skills. So, for example, someone who wants to go into cybersecurity. Why do you think cybersecurity is the best for you? Because you are already aware. Why do you think someone will say, oh, okay, today I want to build my skill in project management? Because there's awareness in place. It's not, people don't just build skills just for the sake of building skills today. It has to be based on certain things. It has to be based on your ability to be aware, your ability to understand the industry, your ability to understand whether that skill that you are building will help you, to accelerate. Gone were those days where people would just go and take a course or build any skill just for the sake of building the skill. No, that is not what works in the world that is termed to be VUCA right now. Now, we put here that self-awareness is such that a lot of people, irrespective of where you are, a lot of people are actually living in what we call self-delusion. So when I ask people here, and typically, most of the time, I sit on during interview when maybe organizations are hiring, and we get to ask people who are just coming into the workplace to say, okay, tell us about yourself. You'll find out that a lot of people don't even know who they are. And a research by someone put here that 95% of people think they are self-aware, but only 10 to 15% people truly are. Even managers, even leaders. And that is why you see a lot of leaders in organizations today who are derailing. Even entrepreneurs, they are derailing because of this particular thing. They are not self-aware. Now, what does it mean to be self-aware? Self-aware is simply, and that's why I say that it's going to be a different way that you look at self-awareness, because a lot of people will say that self-awareness is just understanding yourself. No, self-awareness is not just about understanding yourself. Self-awareness is the ability to see yourself clearly. First of all, to understand who you are. So when they say understanding who you are, you understand your values, you understand your purpose, you understand your goals, you understand where you fit in, you know your strength, you know that, I was speaking with someone recently, and I asked the lady, I was coaching a lady recently, and I asked the lady that, which industries would you like to work? She mentioned just two. I said, why not other? She said that she can't fit into some of the industries. I said, why? She said it's because she knows herself. I said, so you are looking for a job, you should be very flexible. That why not look for opportunities in this area? She said no, that if she goes into those industries, one, she's going to compromise her values. And immediately she said that I knew that, no, this person is talking from the angle of self-awareness. So self-awareness is your ability to understand who you are. That's where a lot of people stop. But beyond that, you must also understand how others see you. So when I'm interviewing you, you are just talking to me. But you do not know that my ability to, the way I perceive you will determine whether I will hire you or not. You are an entrepreneur. You are trying to have a conversation with a venture capitalist. And you are talking from the angle of passion, you are saying this, you are saying that. But the way the other person perceives you will determine whether they are going to advance in that conversation or not. And that's where a lot of people miss it. Most especially career conscious, professionals. They don't place importance on how others see them. Then the other part of it is that how we fit into the world around us. Whether you are working in an organization, do you fit into that organization? Whether you are running a business or you are in a particular sector, do you fit into that sector? I mean, the world around you can be defined in several ways, whether you are your home, your organization, your industry, a whole lot of things. This is the definition of self-awareness that I would like you to, adopt, because it gives you a 360 degrees view of who you are, how others see you, and the world that the world that you're living in, the world around you. Then let's quickly talk about how you can seek continuous learning. So in the world that we are in right now, it's a world that we need to begin to, seek continuous learning. And from where we are, we can do whatever we want to do. It's a world where learning has become, very fluid. Whether you want to read articles and books, whether you want to take online courses and certifications. Now, we have a lot of what we call MOOCs, massive open online courses. We have LinkedIn Learning, we have Percipio, we have Khan Academy, so many platforms where we can learn. Courses, you can take certification, then experiment and practice. Of course, it's not just for us to take these courses. How are we experimenting with these courses, and what are we practicing? How are we practicing? Because it's not just for us to build this knowledge or to acquire these skills or knowledge, but how are we practicing? Do you find yourself in a case where you can volunteer? You can volunteer for an organization. That's another way you can get a job. It's not only by building courses or acquiring courses or certification. You may also want to volunteer. Then two, attending workshops and conferences, even webinars like this. It's a very good opportunity for us to learn, because we can see that learning is taking place as we are right now. Then, of course, the ability to seek for mentors within your organization, even within your environment. It's not only within the organization, within the environment, whether you work, whether you are a business owner, you can look for someone who can provide some sort of guidance and share experiences with you over a period of time. Then let's quickly talk about building a professional network. The essence of you building a professional network will give you access to new job opportunities, industry insight and trends, and even potential collaborations. And of course, we've talked about mentorship, and guidance. I'd like us to quickly talk about how you can take on challenging projects in order for you to accelerate, your career in 2025. One, like I mentioned, you need to identify areas of growth, because as we are right now, not all industries, not all sectors are very productive. In some countries, you'll find out that some sectors are actually going down. For example, in Nigeria now, some sectors like manufacturing, because of the challenges of Forex and some certain things that we are contending with, that sector is not really thriving. In the past few years, a lot of organizations, a lot of multinationals have actually left the country. So you need to identify within your country the areas of growth. So that's it. That's one task that I will give to us. Go back to your look within the sectors within your economy. Look for sectors that are fast, growing, and begin to, plug yourself into those sectors. Then the ability to collaborate with experienced teammates. Of course, we've talked about mentorship the other time. You need to seek out projects, whether in your organization or within your community or within your environment, where you can collaborate with, with people who have experienced. Then, of course, and the ability to embrace ambiguity and complexity, and pushing the boundaries, and, of course, learning from failures. I'm just going to quickly talk about, because of our time, I'm just going to quickly talk about this, that the future of work is not actually about jobs. It's about projects. So the question is that beyond looking for job, beyond where you are, what project are you actually working on that you can say that this is a signature project that I want to tie to my name? If you go online today, you see a lot of people building something. I met a lady recently online. I think she's based in one of the South African country, Southern African country. I can't remember now. This lady said that she's building an AI application that helps people to map their careers, right? So just go on the app. I'll look for that app and share with Purity. Just go on the app, upload your CV on the app, and it's going to generate, the kind of career path that you can actually tailor your career to. Not just only that, this app will also help you to will help you to will distill some skills. Look at your CV, look at so many things on your on your profile, and give you an insight in terms of the courses that you need to take, in terms of the career paths that you need to take, that you can take, a whole lot of things. This is a young lady. When we got talking, she's just 25 and she's doing wonderful things. So projects are the new opportunities in the world that we are in right now. As much as we want to look for jobs, but I will also say that let's also, look for opportunity to build projects. Then the ability to also showcase our personal brand. Yes, I talked about that. Because of the social media now, it's a world where everybody can showcase its identity, can become very visible. And you are not visible from the perspective of just showing off. You are visible from the perspective of being authentic. You want to, of course, before you even begin to say that you are a brand, you must first of all identify who you are in terms of the skills that you have and the values. We've talked about that before. And of course, also establish your reputation. So in terms of the expertise, the professionalism. So you see some people today, they've grown their expertise or their brand on LinkedIn such that they are known. There's someone in Nigeria that is called Yemi Fasheun. If you go on LinkedIn today and you type his name, you will see, the number of people within his LinkedIn network. And that's how he's been growing over the years. Every Monday, he shares career insights, nuggets on how people can become better in their career. And of course, your ability to communicate effectively and also cultivate the right relationships. So basically, for us to, to attain some level of thought leadership in our career and be able to build the right brand, these are some of the things that we can do on a day-to-day basis. For example, we can see now that Purity and Abimbola, they're organizing this webinar. This webinar is here for people to learn. So tomorrow, if they go online and share this, people can resonate with it that, oh, okay, I've attended this program before. They've added one value to me or the other. And of course, also, if you can write very well, blog posts, you can write, share your knowledge, share your thoughts. You don't know who may see it and feels that, oh, this article or this thought leadership article is very insightful. And from there, conversation may start. And of course, expert interviews. Some people now in the world we are, they run podcasts, they interview experts. They bring in thought leaders where they have like a question and answer session. I've done this in the past, and I know how much I grew my network using this expert interview. even infographics. People now share some things that they call carousel. You can put ideas together, look for something like data insights and put it in form of infographics and share it online. It's such a world that anything that we want to become, we can actually become those things within the comfort of, of our house, of our rooms. So it's a borderless world. And I want to charge us that in the world that we are in right now, we can do a whole lot, unlike before. Then that's all. Any question? I'd like to take on questions from people so that we can, we can short the conversation.
Thank you.
Back to Purity.
Thank you.
If you have any question.
Thank you so much. I like the perspective that you have taken us through, or rather your perspective. I liked it. It was quite organizational based. It was really eye-opening. I'm sorry if you can't see me very well. I moved because of power, so I am seeing that it's a bit dark, but at least you can hear me, all of you. So your perspective was really broad. I liked that. I think that's why we are here. So yes, a very insightful session. Yes, Evans, that will be shared. If the recording will be shared, towards the end, we'll tell you how you will be able to get that. There is one question here from Ibrahima. I can read that for you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please drop it on the chat. Once we are done with the ones on the chat, we will answer one or two. There are those who penned down their questions as they were registering, and then we'll give you an opportunity, maybe one person to go off mute and then be able to ask a question. So Ade, allow me to read for you this one question. In Guinea-Bissau, careers are based on... I
can even see it.
You can see it, eh?
Yes, I can see it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, from
yes.
Ibrahima.
Yes.
So Ibrahima says that his careers are based on political affiliation. Yes, it's almost everywhere. Because you find, where you have people, politics happens. So the thing is that don't be discouraged by that. I've just mentioned to you, if you can't find opportunities within your location, the question is that, have you become that person who can get opportunities outside of your location globally? The world of work now is globalized, right? I know a lot of people who are based in Nigeria, and they are working for US companies, organizations. And I like the fact that you are a computer engineer, so your skill is actually should be in demand. So are you looking out for those boards, those job boards, where you can look for opportunities outside of Guinea-Bissau? There are several of those. I mean, I can share with my friend later, and they can share with you. There are several of those job boards that you need to go on and look for these international opportunities. The truth is that getting a job now is even a job. So if you feel that within your location, it's very tight due to the fact that you need to know someone, before you get fixed, but you need to, position yourself as a global citizen so that you can get those opportunities outside of your location. So the question you may also ask is that, it's not that easy, but it's a work that you need to do. It's a work that you need to do if you really want to, accelerate your career in 2025. Yeah. And I like also you've worked on some unique projects. Bandim Health Project, Busara from Kenya, but the national one don't seem to want to offer me a job. Yeah, what advice would you give? Then again, maybe also your CV. the way you've crafted your CV. You may need to get a professional to help you look at it, because a lot of those things are also changing. The way you position yourself, your CV goes before you. So if you look at, if a professional looks at your CV, is it a CV that that earns you that first interview? So those are some of the things that you really need to look at. But I can tell you that you can stand a good position to to get those global jobs. Yeah, I don't know if that has addressed your question.
All right, Ade, I like that, and I like that. That's why we are here, and that's why these sessions are good. That you can even share some, some links in terms of where someone like Ibrahima could start from. So thank you for that, Ibrahima. If you have any other question, you can engage us on Career Reframing Series. You will be able to, that will be shared. Abby will be able to share that, how you can reach out to Career Reframing Series. There's another question, Ade.
Okay.
How do you strike a balance between soft power and setting boundaries in the corporate, especially as a woman in the corporate? Someone says, I need Ade's mentorship services. We will let you know how you can get in touch. Please repeat. I'm just reading everything out just so that you can put that together. Please repeat on the free online training website. Secondly, what does it take to build your personal brand? I know you will respond to it briefly because you touched on personal branding, but that's a whole area that I'm sure we cannot exhaust that.
Exactly. Yeah, we can't actually exhaust that. But the way I say about what I say about personal brand, is that you must have content before you say you've grown to that level of being a brand. And getting to that level, there's a lot around self-awareness. I talked a lot about that. For you to say that you become so for example, if you look at Coke today, Coca-Cola is more like a product that we can see virtually in every location all over the world. What makes Coke so unique? It's not about the colors. It's not about the style, the fonts, over Coca-Cola. It's about the fact that Coca-Cola helps quenches what? Thirst. Anywhere you get to, people will want to take Coca-Cola over any other product. But it's about value. So the question is that, have you become that person of value?